Everybody out there tuning in tonight. What's up? It's your girl Queenie. I am here for a Friday night happy hour. It has been a long, crazy week, but as I promised you, I was bringing two amazing brothers to the podcast to talk about this yummy, 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 delicious liquor called PlayPen Vodka. And I have Ted here. He's already joining us for the happy hour. Hi, Ted.
Hi, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. Ending the week on a high note, so I'm looking forward to this happy hour. I've been kind of holding off until then to have a drink with you guys. So I'm super excited.
Me too. I'm so excited. I also want to welcome my guest. I have my homegirl B, who is in the house, and I have my co-host, Mr. Brian, who is in the house. Welcome, guys.
Hello there. Hello there.
All right. So listen, for those of you that's watching, go ahead, share it out. We're going to be talking about this brand. We're going to be talking about the journey to creating this brand. I met these wonderful men by way of someone else connecting me. I chatted with Ted and I was enthralled with his story, and here we are. So grab your glass. I know you can't get the PlayPen vodka, but I have some right here. And while we wait for your brother Joseph to come in, we're going to go ahead and have some drinks.
Sure, absolutely.
So listen, I want to know. There's a few things I want to know. Now, I saw your glass, right? And you got something nice and blue over there. What is that?
Yeah, so this is a little mixture of the blue carousel and the lemon juice. So this is lemon juice. So this is the PlayPen Blue Lemonade. Now, here's the thing: is that as we were kind of looking for things that we could possibly create, we saw the blue lemonade and adapted it with the PlayPen vodka. It's just a perfect representation of kind of like what our brand is. It's clear and it's blue. It's fresh. And it kind of gives you a feeling of kind of like tropical weather. Like it gives you that summertime vibe. So that's kind of where that's coming from.
All right, so I'm loving that. But listen, I have some lemon. Why y'all didn't tell me to get some lemon put in here? I got some lemon. I got some lime. Now, right now, I have nothing in here. Let's see. Hold on. We already got a comment. Let me see what we have. Oh, hello. Hi, Kelly. So I have just the PlayPen vodka in here. Now, I will be honest with you, Ted. I'm not a connoisseur. I have no idea what it's supposed to taste like, but I will say this. And you can help me with this. So I tasted it already. Okay. And it has, to me, I described it as somewhat of a sweeter aftertaste. But but then my other friend, she said that it has like a minty kind of taste. So explain that to us before we get into the actual journey of this whole vodka situation.
Sure. So it's because we're from Chicago, it really made sense for us as we were looking to cultivate the flavor notes around this. We use corn. So it's Midwest corn that we use that gives you that sweet finish there. And so with a mixture of vanilla and cloves, and a little bit of a hit of the anise flavor, that's where you kind of get that outcome and you get that kind of aftertaste. The objective for us was to really work to create something that, was not what they consider offensive. Many times, you really can't drink. A lot of people don't really drink vodka straight. And this is one of the first one. I mean, this one, I feel I'm proud to say that we have one that you can drink it straight on the rocks with no chaser. Of course, if you have one, that makes it even better. But that's kind of the thought process around how the flavor profiles came together. So to create a very clean taste. And I think that we were successful in doing that. Oh, I see my brother's on now. So
hi, Joseph. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Wonderful. How you doing tonight?
I'm hanging in there. Glad
to be
on with you guys.
Happy Friday and welcome to the relationship zone.
Thank you.
So Ted was just explaining to me because I'm not a huge connoisseur of liquors. Well, I
Okay.
just drink whatever is wet, right?
Okay. Okay.
So,
Whatever's available.
but
Nothing wrong with that.
but so I decided to pour. My girlfriend, she can drink her glass, naked, right? So she
Yeah.
poured me some, and I decided to taste. And so I'm like, okay, this is what I taste. So Ted was explaining what I'm tasting because I can actually taste a little bit of a sweetness, and there seems to be like a kind of a, I don't know, like a minty something going on.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know, Brian, what did you taste?
Yeah, it was like a little mint.
Yeah. So we were all kind of agreeing on the same. So Ted was explaining us how this came to be.
Okay.
And I'm enjoying it. Are you drinking tonight, Joseph, also?
I'm sorry.
Are you drinking as well? Where's your sip at?
No, I'm not drinking actually. I've got something tonight to go to.
Okay.
So I try not to go already intoxicated. So because that's always a bad thing, if you pregame, I'm at an age where I've learned like if you pregame before you go out, it's gonna be a tough night. So I try not to drink until I get out. So
Smart.
Well, it took me a long time. Joseph knows this. It took me a long time to learn that. Probably with it, and it doesn't help owning my own liquor company now. That it makes it a little tougher to go to not pregame. But I have exercised a lot of discipline these days because I always have it available. So, I like Joseph said that kind of just measure it to ensure that you aren't overindulgent. So
Right. And you're in Chicago, so it's a little earlier there than it is here for us, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but in Chicago it's go time. It's 6:12, so it's after work hours. So we Chicagoans don't we take advantage of all of our off hours. So there's people in the bar already. They've been there since 3 or 4 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
to be very honest, I think I was at the bar a little earlier today as well. Now I am not intoxicated. I was there supporting friends.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I knew I had to get back here for this, so I decided I would save space for this right here. So
Awesome.
yeah, so let's move on. Let's just get right into it, okay? So Joseph, we have our tasters here. We have Brian and we have my girlfriend B. They're here tasting this fine liquor. But we have so many questions for you, for both of you. You just want to know the journey. I talked with Ted before. I want you guys to share with those that are watching and those that will be watching this later. A little bit about this journey, how this all came to be, and the dream to entrepreneurship for you.
Okay. I guess I can go. So I want to say maybe like 2 years ago, let's say maybe 2 years ago, 2019 summertime. Chicago, we have this area called PlayPen in Chicago, which is where boats, we go for a Friday or Saturday. You just park right by the shore and you drink and you party, and that's about it. So that summer, I was on a friend's boat, and I was just like, man, this is such a good, it's a good time. Why have nobody made a liquor or a brand called PlayPen? And that was the summer of that summer. Later on that December, I thought about it. I wrote it down. Then COVID hit, like in March. And so I worked in the hospitality, restaurant, bar industry. So that's kind of, in March in Chicago, everything kind of closed down around March 14th, March 15th. And so for me, I was like, hey, I still have this idea about this vodka company I want to do. I had started doing some research on it like in March, more in March and April. Then the 4th of July of 2020, my brother Ted and I was at my mom's house for a socially distanced 4th of July. And Ted and I were just talking business and ideas and concepts. And I was just like, hey, I want to do my own vodka. And Teddy was like, oh, man. And so that next day, we started calling distilleries. We started calling anybody in the business that we can talk to, that we can learn some from, and also see how we can come up and create this. And so that was probably like July 5th. We started making phone calls. And then I want to say around the first week of October, is when we had a finished product. And with that, we just knew we wanted something with corn that was local to the Midwest, and we knew we wanted to kind of distill it in a different way. So that's how the whole process came along.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
Do you
And
have
then
anything to add, Ted?
yeah. I think that so the whole concept of entrepreneurship had been obviously intriguing to me for years. I think that there was you kind of get in your lane where you exist. So I've been
Mhm.
in various leadership capacities over in corporate America for the last 20 plus years, and I found myself at a career transition. Like many, like 30 million Americans, I was affected by the COVID crisis, if you will. So I found myself during the time Joseph and I had that conversation, transitioning out of the position that I
Mhm.
was in. And so that being said, is that as I was looking to see, okay, so how do I, um, what do I do? What's my next move?
Mhm.
Joseph started talking to me about this whole idea about the vodka brand. Now, probably more so than Joseph, vodka is my go-to drink.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it is
Yeah,
it is
great.
it is probably, and the reason I really enjoy vodka because for me it's not too harsh and it's exceptionally versatile. It's probably one of the few drinks that you could literally mix anything and get something that you enjoy. And so it's been kind of like my go-to drink for years. So when he talked to me about it, as I'm trying to figure out what my next move was going to be, I said, "Hey, well, let's do it." And so Joseph knows that I'm like a dog with a bone. Is that
Yeah.
if I get on board with an idea, we're gonna make it happen.
Mhm.
Um, and so it came from a place where is that this the idea about entrepreneurship, so kind of steering our own boat, and also going into a space where I really connected with, often we we have our favorite drinks at our favorite family gatherings when we're hanging out around friends, when we go out. And so it was one of those things I felt like, wow, it'd be kind of great if we did our own thing for when we have these gatherings, when we have these events. And that's kind of how I kind of rolled into it, and then just went 150% and try, and creating breaking down some of the barriers for us to get into this space, because the reality of it is that the spirits industry is challenging,
Oh, yeah.
and it's not easy to get into based upon what I consider the gatekeepers involved, and just from a cost perspective, I had to really analyze how we could do
Mhm.
that. And again, I come from a corporate lens. I've been a leader in corporate for many years at this point, so obviously I'm thinking about the financial pieces, the return on investment. How do we build how do we get a infrastructure and supply chain in place? So that's kind of where I was with it. And we kind of just went for it, and
Mhm.
coming from where we came from, it's kind of been a huge deal. So I didn't realize it at first. It was like, this is something for me to do with my brother. And then it evolved into more and more as we
Yeah.
started down this journey. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I got involved.
And then as the journey moved on, I think we kind of found out that we're the only 100% African American owned spirit brand in Illinois.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
and when you think of Chicago and, what is it like? It's like
Yeah,
13, 14 million people in
Yeah.
Illinois. We're
Yeah.
the only two brothers literally in, that
Right.
actually have a spirit company.
Right.
So that was
We're actual brothers.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So,
the only two brothers.
yeah,
Brothers,
right.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, so that was eye opening. I think that for Teddy and I, when we found that out, it was a sense of accomplishment, but also a sense of we got to do more. We can do more, and as a people, you know what I mean. So it
Absolutely.
was a sense of accomplishment, but it was also a sense of like, damn, we did that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Joseph. I just want to add this: is that what we were insistent on doing was not just creating a brand or a product to get to market, but a quality of brand, an exceptional brand to say that, hey, we're an exceptional brand that happens to be Black owned. You know, we want people to support us because not just because we're Black owned, of course, that's a part of it, but because, my opinion, we have one of the best products that's on the market today, and it stands against a lot of these premium vodkas that exist today. And that's not just us saying it. It is that we've done the research. We've and I've been a drinker for a while. I mean, not excessively, but I've enjoyed plenty of cocktails over the years, and I feel like and it's my opinion that we've created something exceptional here.
That is wonderful. Yeah, really, I mean, I just commend you guys at, just the entrepreneurship side of it alone, right? Then you add in the fact that you are the only two brothers in the area. And then you're of a very small percentage of African-American owned liquors as a whole, right? So that is something to be extremely proud of, because I do understand, I hear this, that many markets are very difficult to get in. But you guys not only got into the market, but you got into the market in a very short period of time. So let's talk about that. Like, that's the other part, because some of us sit on our dreams of becoming entrepreneurs, starting a thing, going after that we talk about, that we think about, and years pass. But here you two, you're brainstorming. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're all under a lot of pressure and stress. And while others are depressed and dealing with life as it was coming, and I know you guys were as well, but then you decide to create something as beautiful as this. And here it is sitting in my kitchen in Northern Virginia. So, tell us about like what that really means. Like when you really sit back and really look at it, and someone like myself and others really just call it out. Like, do you realize how big of a deal this is? Like, how does that really make you feel?
I still don't think we've realized it.
Yeah.
I still don't think. I mean, Joseph, I think he and I go back and forth with this because we're just kind of we just feel like we're just doing what we're supposed to do. The steps that are involved in that, and I don't think that we've taken a step back to say that we've done something big, especially in what's considered record-breaking time. I think that we're for us to have come up with it, for this concept and this discussion to happen July 4th, and for us to be talking about it, and us to be producing our first palette of the finished product. It's astounding. But I think that we're at the same time, I think that we do have high expectations of ourselves. I mean, Joseph, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's, because like as we were doing it, Ted was like, we got to get it done. And then I'm like, Ted, this is still early, And then finally when we got it done, Ted is like, we got it done. And I was kind of like more of we got a lot more to do. So, it's a good older brother, younger brother, we go back and forth and talk and debate, but we help and give each other ideas. And for like any entrepreneur listening, I would just say like, whatever your dream is, don't let it die on the couch. And there's going to be some times you strike out, And I always say this too with like baseball. It's like, a good hitter in baseball hits the ball 32% of the time. And just like in business, you're going to fail a lot, but you got to try, And once you try and you find something that you're good at, you just got to keep going with it. So I think what this is, before we had this brand, I've tried businesses that didn't work, or I've tried ideas that I didn't see come out, but that's not something to be discouraged about, and that was something I just keep trying. And this time I got my brother involved, and it worked. So, and we hit it out the park. So my idea is kind of like, we got a lot to do. We still have a lot to do, and we won't rest until we can see this everywhere. Not just in North America, but everywhere. So that's kind of that's kind of our attitude and hunger for it. So
Yeah.
we're excited about that first step, but we got to get to the 10th floor, the 12th floor, the 13th
Yeah.
floor. So that's kind of how we see it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh, okay, let me quickly ask: are there any questions in the room? Are there any questions out there on YouTube? Or we tried an extreme to IG. I hope it made it. If not, I'll post
Don't
it.
worry about it.
So sometimes we just never know what's going to happen
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
It'll be on Facebook later, y'all. So for those
Yeah.
who's watching live on
Yeah.
YouTube, don't worry,
Yeah.
we're going to be at Facebook as well. Questions?
What's it stored in?
What is it stored in? Meaning okay, so we have a question asking, what is the actual liquor stored in? Are we talking about like the wine, how wine is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
maybe
with-
the process.
Okay, so with vodka is not something. I mean, it's something you could make in a day or two. Once you run it through the carbon, we run ours through a carbon filter, and we vacuum distill it at like room temperature or so. But once it goes through that process, it's just getting straight to the bottle and corked.
Yeah.
What made you use a cork?
Because a boat, if you look at so the boat that's on the bottle is actually one of my friends. That's his actual sea ray, and so the boat has wood on it. You got like the brown mats. You also have the wood. So we thought that the cork, having a wooden cork, give it a little more class to it, and then also represents the whole boat idea of what we were trying to create. And that's another reason our slogan is on the back is you're going to see pour then play. Because that's kind of what it's all about. It's about opening that bottle, then pouring it and playing. So yeah, that's kind of why we have that there.
Yeah, it kind of goes with that whole nautical theme. And when you think about so every time I look at the bottle, this is corny. Every time look at the bottle, I think about that Aaliyah song "Rock the Boat," right? Because that's going to be at some point we may have that in some background commercial music.
Right.
That's the goal at some point.
Yeah.
However, it's that whole kind of nautical theme that kind of like ties in together with this version of it. I think that where we'll get to is that I initially when we talked about this, it was all about our Chicago pride, the space and the images that we connect with. But when you think about the whole concept of playpen in a broader sense, your playpen can literally be anywhere. What's your favorite place in DC? What's your favorite place in Virginia? What's your favorite place in? And so this is why we use the concept of using what we call the playpen portrait. We're not saying it's the logo, but we're going to say that it's the portrait. And so what we're looking at is that there's opportunities that, as we, hopefully as we expand to other spaces, how do we adapt that branding for those locations? And it provides unlimited opportunities there. So, and again, it's about creating a space where you have a good time with friends, families, loved ones, and just that is your playpen can be your live. It's the place that you enjoy. So just thinking about the concept more broadly, even than what we've packaged it at today.
Okay, I love it. So Ted and Joseph, I think my friends are over here trying to get me intoxicated.
Yeah, I see that.
Nothing wrong with that.
You see what's happening, right?
Down a lot. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
So here's the deal.
Friday night.
My girlfriend, she said it's very smooth and it does not require a chaser. That is trouble for me because I'm just sipping away, right. So we have to get through this interview. I'll tell y'all tomorrow how good this liquor was.
Well, I should tell you, there are very specific processing. There's a very specific process when we're talking about the carbon filter that removes a lot of the off taste tasters of it, and it also removes some of the things that causes hangovers. So I should say this is that we providing full disclosure is that I've drank it several times. I've not woken up with a hangover one time. Okay. But that's deliberately incorporated in the process.
I will tell you tomorrow.
There you go.
I'm in for the night, so I'm good, but I'll
Okay,
tell
well,
you
you're
tomorrow.
good. You're good.
Their choice of vodka before they developed
Okay.
the brand.
Okay, so there's another question. What was your choice of vodka before you actually created your own brand?
I
Was our
vodka.
choice before? I
Ted
used
said he was just a vodka drinker. Just
Yeah,
whatever was wet and
I,
clear.
I drank what was available. I drank what was available, you know.
Okay.
But but I think that the thing that I probably like most is until I drank mine, I probably like Tito the most. You know.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Actually, yeah.
they had a bet on what you were going to say.
Did they?
They're taking shots depending on what you
Eh.
said. Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
I said Grey Goose.
Grey Goose.
Yeah.
Actually,
but
we
you
did.
said Tito's.
No,
Yeah.
for him, I said Grey Goose.
Oh, that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
I thought
Grey Goose.
All right. Okay. So let's go to the comments from YouTube. Dora Gardner. Hi, Dora. She said, describe what makes your vodka a quality vodka in comparison to others.
I just think what how Ted just talked about how we distill it and how it's cold vacuum distilled. I mean, there's just the difference. Everybody usually, when you're distilling liquor, you're looking at like 212 degrees. Because we vacuum seal ours and it allows us to cook it at a lower temperature. We're doing it at like 70 to 50 degrees, which is what Ted just said. And once again, it kicks out the hangover effect. It kicks out all the bad flavors that hangs out in there. And so it just gives you a clean, smooth taste to it. Also, we're using local Midwest corn. So we're just kind of using what's local to us and good to us in the Midwest. And we're using it as fresh as we can. And that's kind of what makes it a quality product. And then, I mean, even with the bottle itself, I think the cap for the vodka shows us, we're about quality. A lot of vodkas, you just got like the little spin top, So,
Yeah.
I mean, even that shows how much detail we are about our quality. So, yeah, I think that's to piggyback off what Ted said. I think that's probably the appropriate answer.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Dora, for your question. Hi, Angela. And Dora also adds, please tell everyone how we can connect with PlayPen Vodka. We haven't gotten there, but might as well. You can say it twice. It's fine. You can say it to us twice. Go ahead.
That's going to be the most critical question, and so we'll make sure that we talk about it now, and we'll talk about it later,
Yes,
right?
Please, yes.
Yeah. So right now, that obviously, PlayPen is I'll say this step. So right now we are obviously have a website. We're on social media with YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We also, and right now we are in the very early stages of deployment. So what I mean by that is that we're actively engaging local retailers, bars and restaurants. We've been successful in getting in a few at this point. This is the part where it's super important for listeners and people that are interested in the brand to understand the power that they have. We have to ask for it. If you have a local store or a local retailer that doesn't carry it, you have to ask them for it. A lot of times that's how you get these brands in these places, and specifically in our areas. There hasn't been a whole bunch of options, but now that we do have options, especially here in Chicago, and we're not limited to Chicago, but if people want to see us, they've got to ask for us. But right now, the way that you get us is that we're in select stores in Chicago, select bars and restaurants, and we're actively working to try to expand that to get it citywide in a relatively short time. And obviously, to get it beyond just the borders of the Chicagoland area, Illinois, if it is, if you will.
Got to get you into some of the military bases.
Yeah, that would be.
You need
amazing.
to be in class 6.
That would be amazing.
Class 6 is what you said?
Yeah,
Let me
class
write that
6.
down.
Got to be in class 6. That's all the military bases. So yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
They allow that on the military bases?
There's the class 6 is the package store.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Great.
When you walk in, it's liquor for days. So why not yours?
Walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, hi, Angela. Angela asks, are there flavors of PlayPen? Oh, I guess vodka do come in different flavors.
Yeah. No, we're not. We're not. We don't have flavors. In the future, I don't think that that's kind of not on our timetable as of yet.
Mhm.
I think our next step will be like the liquor you're drinking right now. It's going to be 6 time carbon filtered. On our next, extension that we do, we're going to do a vodka that's 10 times carbon filtered. So just like a cleaner, crisp taste. But as of yet, we're not really looking to do flavors at the moment.
Okay, so for those of us that do not understand carbon filter or not, when you say 6 time versus 10, can you tell me what that actually is? Is that a cleansing? Is that a
Yeah, it's kind of
purification?
like
Is it what is it?
yeah, it's kind of like to purify it. Like I guess if you look at like the Brita commercials, I guess an easy
Mhm,
example, Brita commercials will say, when you pour the water through, how it goes through all these filtrations before it get to you.
mhm,
So most when it comes to vodka, most vodka brands are probably like 2 to 4 times filtered. A
mhm.
lot of them don't use carbon. A lot of them use, you use different things to filter it. But with ours, we do 6 times. So we kind of just run it through 2 more times, just kind of make sure you left with a clean, refreshing, and crisp taste to it.
Yeah, and just to add to that, and so essentially we use what we call an ultra pour,
Hmm.
kind of like an ultra pour proprietary blend that really helps elevate the filtering process. So a bunch of them can say they're filtered. So so and most of the selling points with a lot of them they're distilled, but
Hmm.
we distill it and then we carbon filter it. And again, that filtering process really eliminates all of those additional impurities to give you a cleaner taste, which is why you can drink it straight because the process removes a lot of those off taste impurities that really creates a smoother finish there.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings me to my next question. Now, you two sound so well versed in liquor
It's new.
and the process of creating liquor. And
Mhm.
that's actually my question, Ted. Like you're talking as if you've been in it for a while. I mean, from processes to how it's made and this. So how did you guys get to this point in such a short time? I mean, I'm in awe over the fact that it hasn't even been a year
Yeah.
and you're talking like you've been in the industry for quite some time. So did you guys just stop life when 2020 kicked in and you decided you're going to do this and just pour all of yourself and your energy into learning about this industry in the process of creating your own brand?
Yeah, I would say, um, I would say we stopped. I mean, COVID stopped us. I wouldn't just say we stopped, but COVID stopped a lot. And so, as we both were just looking for business opportunities, we noticed that everyone was still drinking. So it made sense to do a product that could be COVID free, because everybody's going to still drink, So, but with that being said, yeah, the moment we had to put money in is the moment you got to know what you're doing. I couldn't like go to my brother and say, "Hey, I need 30,000 for vodka," and I don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to lose his money, and he wouldn't want to lose his own money either, and I don't want to lose my money. So yeah, I think it's one of those when you put your money up, yeah, you got to know what you're doing if you want to make it. If you don't want to make it, yeah, you can half-ass it and go. But yeah, if you want to make it, you got to buy books, read articles, talk to distillers, talk to people on the ground. We one time, one of our first meetings about the vodka, Ted came over to my house, and I had maybe like 10 different vodkas and shot cups without names, and so we tried all 10 to figure out which one we liked, blind tasted, and so it was stuff like that that let us know, oh, we like corn, or we like it to be this times distilled, or we like this particular, and we did a blind test, so we kind of get an idea what it is that we're doing. But yeah, I just think that once we decided to put money up, that was go time, not in a sense of starting a company, but that's go time and learning how to start the company and then learning how to, make it once we started. So yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Joseph. And I think let me make sure I remember the question. The question
You had that blue stuff. That blue stuff got you.
That blue
it
stuff.
sneaks up on you, like seriously, like
Yeah.
it really does. So we sit here and think the blue stuff is harmless, and it kind of gets you, right?
Against you, yeah.
Yeah. So, but kind of, in terms of how we got here, and the why that we're in it, it's all of the things that Joseph said, and a lot of it is just passion. Joseph has worked in a little bit about me is that, when I first started, many years ago, one of my first jobs, after high school and all that stuff, is that I worked in a hotel. And I worked in a hotel, I worked for different bars and things like that. This is many years ago. But I love the energy. I love what it represented. And for me, this space is entirely a passion project.
Mhm.
I really love what comes with it. I love the fact that, our families often, our big family gatherings, they have liquors. It was just a way that we could build all those things that we really like to do, and just have it, and say that, and create our own space in that, create our own product there. And for me,
Yeah.
it was all it's 100% about passion. Um, Again, like I said earlier, is that I've been navigating through corporate. I'm still doing that today. Even with my transition, I'm still doing that today. And but this was something that I could put my heart behind, and I
Mhm.
this is why I was like, it's like Joseph referenced earlier about, me being kind of aggressive with being like, we got to get to the next point. We got to get to the next point. Part of that is just me, right? But
Mhm.
another part is that I knew that we were onto something great, and I want to be able to share it with everybody else. So
Yeah.
that's where we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love it. Let's see if we have another question.
Sure.
We have an in-house question. Go ahead.
When did they know they had the two thumbs up?
All right. So the question here is, when did you know that you had a two thumbs up product?
Um,
How long were you?
I would probably say, yeah, I don't know. I think it was, I mean, because everybody, it's like if you have a child, you're gonna think your child's the best child there is at the school.
That
And
works.
so with the vodka, we thought we had a great product, but it wasn't. It was also when people who didn't know us or people who weren't that close to us told us it was a great product. And it's like, yeah, everybody's gonna think that their stuff is the best stuff. So yeah, so we knew we had some good stuff, but the realization of how good it was just everybody gave us great feedback. Like I'm talking like a lot of good feedback.
Yeah.
And so that kind of put us on to like, yeah, it's great, it's good. And the people who was giving us feedback, a lot of those people were like whiskey drinkers. And so yeah, no, I think that's when we knew not only do we have a product, but that we can have a successful product and also a good product.
Right. Okay. All right. So, hey, if you are watching tonight, please go out and share this live tonight while we're wrapping up with them. We have probably about another 20 minutes, but I want you to make sure you share it.
Mhm.
Some folks were looking for me over on Facebook because typically I am on Facebook, but
Okay.
tonight I'm not. So please share this link, share it from YouTube, share it, with your friends, just so people can see this and understand these gentlemen's story, learn about PlayPen Vodka, and of course support these two brothers out of the west side of Chicago. All right, so let's jump back in this really, really quick, Joseph. The question is, can PlayPen be shipped?
Yeah, it depends on like so we have a site called a reserve bar, Ted,
Yeah.
which we're doing, and then also it looks like there's a big liquor store in Illinois called Benny's. And Benny's will be carrying us, and all like they have I think 42 stores in the state. But Benny's already carried out, so we can't like ship it to you. That's illegal. But you can always order like through like a Benny's or from Reserve Bar, and they can ship it to you.
And and
All
so
right.
I'm sorry, and I just want to add to that. This goes back to what I talked about in terms of the power of the consumers.
Hmm.
We have to go to places and say, "Hey, I need you guys to carry this brand."
Okay.
When you're able to do that, you don't have to worry about us shipping it because we can have it locally for you, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
I think that our objective is to get it as in many markets as possible to remove that barrier of having to ship it. So we generally the way, and because liquor laws are so restrictive,
Yeah.
you have to have local distribution to get it out there to you.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So my point again is that if it's something that if you want, especially outside the Chicago area, you gotta just tell somebody, hey, you guys need to check these guys out. And all it requires for them to do is go to the website, go to our Facebook page and say, hey, how can we carry it down there? And then we can find a way to make it happen.
All right. So y'all heard that. So listen, my DC crew, DC area, you know how powerful we are here. So
Yeah,
please, I want
Absolutely.
you to share this. I want you to go to your local store. I want you to start talking about PlayPen Vodka. I was gifted this wonderful vodka, so I know how great it is. Listen, I want you guys to go out there, share it, talk about it, get it into our local stores, get the distributors saying, "Hey, yeah, we'll take it. We want to get some
Hmm.
of it here."
Hmm.
Let DC, we are powerful. Come on, DMV,
absolutely.
y'all can do this. Playpen Vodka, two brothers out of West Side of Chicago, a beautiful story. Let's get it here. All right. All right.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
let's go to the next. What is Playpen's goal for the next 5 to 10 years? That was actually one of my questions. Thank you, Angela, for asking it early. So hey, let's talk about that.
Next 5 years is to be in all 50 states and also to have our like ultra premium bottle called Playpen Black. That's like the 10
Oh,
time distill bottle. But I think our biggest goal is to get distribution in all 50 states.
Yeah.
loving it. Okay. All right. So let me go back to let me go back to my other little question. I think I had another one. Well, they've pretty much asked my questions, but
Okay.
I just want to go back just a little bit though, because I've heard, and I know when I talked to you, Ted, you mentioned this, and now we have Joseph here, and Joseph is probably the only one in the room that's totally sober. So
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go get some wine.
you're gonna go get
Yeah,
wine.
there you go.
I'm gonna cut it out, so I'm gonna hear you, but I'm gonna get
Okay,
wine
okay,
for one
Go
moment,
ahead.
okay?
okay,
All
perfect.
right.
Get you some wine. That's right. Come on. I hate to, be a bad influence, but hold on.
Oh, that's dope.
Okay, ask him that. Okay. All right. So I have one question here that you can answer anytime, which someone asked, do you think you would ever consider creating a wine? Since you mentioned wine. But what I want, and you can answer that, but here it is, two brothers out of the West Side of Chicago. I've never met anyone out of the West Side of Chicago. Well, I met a female. I'm working with a female on Clubhouse now that's from the West Side of Chicago.
Oh,
And I
okay.
did
Dope.
plug you guys. Excuse me, I did
Dope.
plug you guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
She writes stage plays, and we were in a meeting about 2 nights ago, and I mentioned your vodka. I told her where she can find it. She's from the West Side of Chicago. I told her all about you, so she did say she was going to look you up.
Okay.
So yeah. But I'm just curious, when you were young and growing up, like, did you ever imagine seeing anyone that looked like you doing something like this? And did you have a mentor growing up that encouraged you to get into any type of entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so I'll jump in. So I know
Okay.
Joseph, you have a different experience, but I'll jump in with that. So I'm the older brother, so my experience is a little bit different than Joseph's, right? Um, so entrepreneurship was something that it was desired, but you didn't see a path forward. You necessarily know what's going to happen, especially because where we grew up, there was it didn't exist. There was no one that looked like us that was creating opportunities or starting businesses. So it was a very tough place, you know. Um, I think a lot of what we have is what was instilled from us, from our mom and us, just genuinely deciding that we wanted something more in life, right? And
Mhm.
that's how we got here. That's how we that you know that was those were kind of the building blocks. It's the building blocks for how I was able to move into corporate when there was nothing for me to measure it against. It was that, it was kind of like I looked at examples outside of what was around me and said, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to do this," and that's kind of how that worked out. For Joseph and I think that we maybe we talked about it some time ago, but I don't know if it came together until a lot recently,
Mhm.
to say, hey, we should just do this.
Yeah.
I think that part of me was comfortable in my space and, and having, these opportunities in corporate. And I was just kind of good there, right?
Yeah.
And so what happened is that I got laid off um, in July. And I said that, I need to figure it out beyond just getting the next job. How do I create an opportunity? And then more importantly, how do I create a legacy for the children that I have behind me? And that's how I got really immersed in this whole process. Does that
Yeah.
answer your question?
Yeah. I just wanted to know, like the vision, like, just growing up where you grew up, seeing life through the lens that you saw it through.
Mhm.
How did you ever see yourself? Did you ever even see the possibility
Oh,
of being able to do this? You
no,
know,
no,
Yeah.
no.
And for my experience, so I would say from my experience, I guess my point was, when I was 16 years old, my dad died of cancer. And so at that point, I was, as a kid, I was hurt, I was broken. I got a mentor at like 17 or 18. And as a church pastor. And so they kind of helped pay for me to go to college. But I would go back, and I was going to a church of like 4,000 to 5,000 people. And so, I would go back and forth from school to church and preach. And at the time, I was going to school to be a preacher. So I graduate with a BA in theology, and theology and religion, and then I went on for a master's degree in religion as well in seminary. And it was like my second year. I was just like, this isn't what I want to do. But I was around like, these big pastors who were making a lot of money, but they were doing entrepreneur things on the side, And so for me being at that church with that mentor, while I thought I wanted to be a preacher and all that kind of good stuff, I was blessed to see the entrepreneurial side of how to do business deals or how to get things done. And they were making a lot of money and successful at that. And so at that point, I was just like, okay, well, I want to be wealthy, but I don't want to I don't want to take money from somebody at church. I need to figure out what the hell I want to do. So at that point, I kind of left church, went to downtown Chicago, worked in restaurants, bartending and stuff like that. And so from that moment on, I just never wanted a corporate job because I know you can make so much money if you can figure out some way to create a business and work for yourself. So that was kind of my perspective, I guess.
yeah.
So I was a one-time minister. Now I sell vodka. And
That's true. That's
and I'm
true.
saying this sober.
The drunk minister. Drunk minister. Yeah.
And like I used to preach in front of like 2 or 3,000 people. So
Yeah.
it wasn't a small thing.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so and so when I did decide like, hey, this isn't for me, I was kind of like, I was away for like, I don't know, that took a while because it was like, I don't know, it just took a while. But I just knew I wanted to make money. I didn't want to make money at the church because I didn't want to do that. That's some people think that's not my thing. I just kind of wanted to figure out a way I can make a living for myself and my family and party and drink and not be accountable to anybody but the people in my household, and still be successful, you know. And so that was my thing. It was like I wanna drink, I wanna have fun, and I want to make money, and I don't want to have some 70-year-old lady telling me what to do, you know. So yeah, that's
I love
and it's so
your
weird now because
honesty.
I see people from my church because it's a big historical church in Chicago, and I see people from my church and Joe, what are you up to these days? Oh, I own a vodka company. What? You know, it's like totally 180, but hey, they respect it because they drink it at, you know, when nobody's watching. So I get it.
Yeah.
But that's
Oh my God.
that's my thing.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I love that journey. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
You know, at the end of the day, right? You got to be true to who you are.
Yeah.
You have to be true to who you are because your calling will call you out. I mean, it will
Oh
not
yeah.
let you go. No.
Oh
And
yeah.
some people, unfortunately, they suppress it and
Oh yeah.
they go against it and they're never fulfilled because of
Right.
that. So it's wonderful that you had the courage, both of you really, to have the courage to pursue your dream and also for you, Joe, to get up and continue to try again. I heard you mention that you had a few businesses that
Oh,
you tried.
I've had a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah,
And you're gonna strike out.
yeah,
That happens. It's
Yeah.
you go to the plate the next time and you swing again.
yeah,
And you just need one to hit, just
yep.
one, and you'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I know Ted told me about his career, and then during the pandemic, there were a few pivots made, and I mean, life
Yeah.
was changing. You know, you're so
Mhm.
used to one thing, and then suddenly life changes, and now you have to do something different. So I
Mhm.
mean, you have some amazing stories. Let's Patricia. So listen, Dr. Blessman, look at here.
I
She's the
got to.
one that connected me to you guys.
She
Hi,
is.
Julie.
How's it
Hi,
going?
Dr. Blessman. She is the best.
Oh my goodness, she is the best.
She
I
is
get a
the
chance to engage with Dr. Blessing once a month on
best.
another show that we do, and she is awesome. She's so
Mhm.
supportive. Thank you so much.
I agree. She has been an advocate and supporter, and I appreciate her. She
Yeah.
really has been. She really has shared what we're doing and what our vision is, and I appreciate Dr. Blessman, and she
Yeah.
knows this because I've told her this, and yeah.
Look,
I
she was
love
late. She was out buying a new car. Congratulations,
see,
girl.
there we go. There we
There you
go.
go.
There we go. Yeah,
All
she's
right. So
awesome.
I know she really is. So we have another question or two before we get ready to wrap up.
Sure.
Someone asked if you guys have ever thought about taking your brand to Shark Tank.
No,
No.
No.
no. I think we have the capital. We have. I mean, to go to Shark Tank and lose a percentage will
Mhm.
be devastating
Yeah.
compared to just making it work and
Yeah.
getting out there, touching people, enjoying and drinking. I
Yeah.
mean, if we didn't have capital, sure, Shark Tank could be, yeah, but no, I don't think we'd do that.
No,
Good.
I agree with Joseph 100%. Is
Yeah.
that the objective for us is that, not only do we want to build a business, we want to leave a legacy.
Mhm.
And part of that is in ownership, right?
Mhm.
And so if we have people that are asking for what we offer, we don't have to compromise that.
Yeah.
It's important for us to own our brand. We don't want
Right.
people coming in. We don't want to go asking people for money so they can tell us what to do. There's no
Right.
purpose in it then.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
that's why. So no, not
I
at all.
love it. That's like when musicians they
Copyright.
come back and they want their
I
masters.
said copyright.
So
Hey,
forget somebody.
I'm trying to be like Master P. We gonna
Oh,
sell it. We trying to sell it independently, baby. And let's see where because you know what? In the early days, especially, that's where the money came in. Is that he was able to push his product the way that he wanted to.
yeah,
That's what we want to do because
absolutely.
we don't want to be beholden to anyone. We want to do what we do.
Absolutely.
And right now is that and the reality of it is that for us to continue that, all it takes is for everyone that's watching to say, hey, we want what you guys offer, and we'll be good.
So again, all of you that are not in Chicago, please, let's go to our local stores and let's tell them, hey, there's this wonderful brand of liquor called PlayPen. Just check them out. Let's get them into the stores. Let's, we have clout, we have pull, we have influence in our community. So, and trust me, we all know somebody that knows somebody, knows somebody. And again, I'm here in the DMV. There's so many amazing power pushers here in the DMV. So any of you that are watching, share this, because I know somebody in your network has the power to get PlayPen Vodka into our local stores here. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So hi, Maddie. How are you? We have one other question from Dora. She said, what were your biggest challenges in taking PlayPen from inception to where it is today?
Biggest challenges?
My
I would
patience.
say, I would say we have a supplier that we don't like. I won't say their name,
Okay.
but we have a supplier that we don't understand how they're in business. And so one of the biggest challenges was, moving stuff from California, moving stuff from Washington State, and putting it all here. It was just a challenge. And so, yeah, it's just one of our suppliers we weren't too happy with. And they kind of, put us back a week or two, but we got it done in October, so that's great. But yeah, I would say the biggest challenges have to be this supplier that we won't name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say, Ted?
I
What
agree.
about you, Ted? Is there anything else you would add?
No, I agree. Beside the fact that, honestly, I struggle with my patience, but that and the reason why is that, I just, when I get fixated on something, I just feel like, let's find a way to make it happen. I don't like excuses. I don't like barriers. It is that, we're in a space that traditionally we don't exist in, and I don't care. We have to find a way to create a space for ourselves. And so for me, that was kind of like, it was challenging, but I just felt like, let's do it anyway. And so for me, it's always about moving things along. But to Joseph's point, to be perfectly honest, it's about the supplier and my disappointment in that whole process. But it's all good because you live and you learn and you figure out another way to get things done.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. All right, so I want to make sure that I put the website at the bottom of our page.
Awesome.
So that those of you that are watching and are listening and going to watch a little later on, you know where to find this vodka. Go out and check out the website. You got to be over 21. Well, at least that's what it asks you when you click on the website.
Yeah.
There you go.
So make sure you do that. Okay, so Dr. Blessman said we spend billions of dollars in liquor. We definitely do. We are definitely taste masters in the market. That is so true. Or taste makers. That is
Makers in the market.
so true.
Yeah, it's a $60 billion industry, and we don't have any ownership there. Unfortunately, we believe that the people that own the tastemakers in this space are celebrities. You got to be a Puffy or a Jay-Z, but that's not true.
Yeah.
We should be able to create industry within our own local markets and expanded regions. We should be able to do that like everyone else. And we should be able to do that outside because we have a quality product and not just because there's celebrity behind it.
Right.
I love it. I love it. Listen, guys, all of those of you that are watching this, take this YouTube link, share it. Use social media for this brand. Share it out on Facebook. Anywhere that rooms that you're in and the groups you're in, share it. Because although we're going to end our live, the video will still be up on YouTube. So share it. Get this video out. Let's get some traffic to the webpage. Let's get the demand up so we can bring this liquor close to you, to every state.
Yeah.
I know each person that's watching and each person will watch, you have someone in the state over. Share it.
Yeah.
Share it to anyone that's in any type of leadership or power position, any type of influence. share it. Share it out to any influencers. Share it. This is the way we're going to get this information out, this brand out, and we're going to be able to build these brothers up. So let's get it out there.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Can I see how much vodka you guys got left in that bottle? Let me see.
No.
I do want to
let
see
me
that.
take it to the side. Oh, that was like 4 when we started. Right?
He started it.
Where are you guys at? Brian, where are you guys at?
They're in Virginia as well.
Oh, dope.
What
Okay.
are you guys drinking with it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Oh.
All right, okay.
So
All right.
listen, because I really don't know what to mix, and because I didn't know anything about this whole lemon situation until Ted got on. All I have is kind of a sunrise, is some cranberry and some orange juice.
It's
Okay.
just a rise.
Ice.
It's just a
So,
rise. It's not sun.
But I will tell you, I think it was a lot of liquor in this one.
It
Vodka
was.
is
It was
super
just
adaptive.
there, no
You can
rise.
mix it with whatever you want.
But listen,
You can mix
but look,
whatever.
but I think I did all right, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did okay hosting.
Yeah,
It
you
doesn't seem
did
like- I
an
didn't just
amazing
fall
job.
over, right?
you
I'm
did
doing okay.
phenomenal.
amazing, yeah.
Now listen. Now I don't know what it's going to be like when I actually stand up. But for right now, I'm okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, you speaking Jamaican.
So listen, before we get ready to wrap up, guys, first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for agreeing. Thank you, Dr. Blessman, for connecting me with these brothers. I want to watch your story continue to evolve and to just blow up all around the globe. But before we go, I want to know your advice that you have for anyone that wants to get into not just this industry, but anyone of color that really wants to pursue a dream of making something out of this pandemic time, right? Out of nothing, right? This is a time that, I mean, this really is a time that, we can truly create anything, even in the midst of it, right? In the midst of the craziness, opportunities are still there. So if you could just leave a message or a nugget of information or encouragement to someone that's watching.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say what I said earlier. Just keep trying. If it doesn't work out, you strike out, get back up to bed again, and keep trying. I just think that $1 million ideas die on the couch every day, and our job is not to let those die. It's to write them down. It's to try them. And if you fail, hey, you tried. And then, you just pick up and keep doing it again. And I think that's the process. And that's what I'm going to always do. So I wouldn't tell anybody any different.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Joseph. Is that just do it.
Yeah.
So there often people will say, well, how did you get there? It's like I'm blessed and highly favored and all of these things that, that they kind of sugarcoat how you got there. But a lot of it is just about the hard working and the commitment to just doing it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to move forward, and you will figure it out throughout figure it out through the process. So, just do it. Stay committed and just do it, no matter what happens. Just do it.
All right. So before we get to the question at the bottom, I have a personal question. How did you handle and how do you handle the naysayers?
You don't listen to them.
Yeah, they don't count.
Right. I've got, if you have a naysayer, you smile and you keep it moving. And I mean, that's the only thing you can do. You can't, I'm not here to help facilitate somebody about how they feel about me or my company. I'm here to say I have a brand. I want you to try it as a friend. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, hey, tough shit. But I'm not gonna not be who I am or not enjoy what I am because of somebody say you can't do something, So, I mean, if somebody show you who they are, believe them and just keep going.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I giggled. Hold on, Ted. As soon as he said tough shit, I just giggled because I was like, and here's the guy that was going to be a preacher.
Right.
You went after what you're calling. I don't blame you. Go for what you knew was yours. I don't blame you. I love it, Joseph.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Ted.
The only thing I would say to that is that, especially since we're doing liquor, how many of them, the naysayers, are launching liquor companies, are launching businesses? The fact of the matter is that for me, you can't counsel me on shit that you've never done before. So I don't care what anybody thinks. Seriously. If you haven't done it, I'm not really interested in your perspective on it. And that's just the bottom line. I mean, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's real talk. I'm loving that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't tell me about something. I appreciate people that have put the effort in. But if you are what I call one of life's spectators, I'm not really interested in what you're talking about.
Yes.
We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is look, that's a word right there. That's a Sunday morning word. That's a word. All right, so tell us before you guys go, how can we follow your journey and support the brand? I put the website up, but if you could just like tell people where they can find you on social media, and also if you could share anything new that's coming up in Chicago. I know the world is still kind of on lockdown, but do you have anything coming up that you want to share for Chicago?
I think that so for social media, you could do PlayPen Vodka on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or so. But like a lot of good photos and stuff, just go to our Facebook or Instagram. As far as me, follow my journey social, my name is Joseph, but my last name is Moten. I think you guys have it as Robinson, but my last name is Moten, Moton. So Joseph Moten, you could just, that's on Instagram, Facebook, or Google. And then with Ted, his Ted Robinson, I think it's going to be his like Instagram handle as well. But yeah, you can follow all that stuff. And then as far as stuff we got coming up, like I said, I think this coming week we will be in Benny's, and that's like big for us because they're the biggest buyer of alcohol in the entire Midwest. And they do have like the 42 stores here in Illinois. So we got that coming up. And then we got some other stuff that we're going to do as stuff begins to open up. But just getting into Benny's is kind of like a great thing for us coming up because it's like the big liquor store to get into in Illinois. So we're excited about that.
Okay, wait, Joseph, can you spell your last name for me one more time?
It's Moton.
Okay, and this is on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can find me there, Joseph Moten. So just Joseph, then Moton.
Got it. So I am so sorry for having it spelled incorrectly.
No, it's fine. You see, I waited to the end to say something. I wasn't really worried about it. Yeah.
Well, so Joseph, Ted did not correct me. That's
the product of divorced parents.
I understand, but Joseph, let me tell you, Ted didn't correct me. He has my email. He has my cell phone. He has my IG.
You told her, Teddy.
Joseph, I would have never done that to you. And I put a flyer out. And so I look now. I'm throwing him under the bus. I sent the flyer to Ted for approval.
Yeah.
Look, look, Joe, you know he corrected. Let me tell you what he corrected.
The east side to the west side.
Knock it off.
Come on, Teddy.
Knock it off.
We had the conversation because I screenshotted the thing to Teddy. I was like, oh.
Listen, I'm the big brother. Roll with whatever I say. I'm the older brother. Knock it off. But I will say this to what Joseph was saying is that, so we're looking at that. We also are in the Dearborn restaurant in downtown Chicago. We have a drink we have a specialty drink called Hot Girl Summer, which uses PlayPen Vodka. We are also in the Sophie Hotel in Hyde Park and a few other places.
We're in some golf courses. We've got a few
golf
places
courses. We're in Go Grocer. We're in where else are we at? So we are starting to branch out in a few other places. So we're out here in the market and we're really trying. But go to the Dearborn if you're in Chicago. Try that Hot Girl Summer. Have a driver because it will get you drunk. But enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, I am loving it. So listen, now listen, Joseph, if you don't mind, I gotta go track you down on IG.
Okay.
Because I was looking for you under
Robinson.
Robinson. Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's Joseph Mode. You can if that's the you just type that in the IG up there.
I got you now.
Okay.
Or it's just on the, or you can go on the PlayPen Vodka, right?
Well, we don't have like we don't have our personal stuff under there.
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay. I got you now. I got you now. Guys, listen. It has been great having you here. I have been
Thank
so
you.
looking forward to hearing
Thank
more
you.
about your journey, to putting you out here on my platform, to sharing the information. I've been talking about it for like a couple weeks, and I waited until tonight to taste this liquor. And
Good.
Ted, Joseph, this is some good stuff.
Thank
Look,
you.
I'll take a page out of both of your books. This is some good shit right here. So
There we go.
There you
That's what's up. That's thank you so much.
Thank you.
so
And thank you, Brian, and you guys. Well,
Oh, they said thank you, Brian and B.
No,
thank you, guys.
it's so good.
We
I hope
appreciate
you feel good later on too. Okay.
Oh, they feel
Fingers
good right
crossed.
now.
Fingers
Okay.
crossed.
So, for all of you that are listening, make sure you drink responsibly. Please drink responsibly. Do not go out there getting too happy hour drunk because you've been watching a Bar Talks edition of the Relationship Zone here on YouTube or anywhere else. Please drink responsibly. And please, yes, go ahead and share this information. Let's get PlayPen Vodka in our stores. We have the power to do that. So,
Thank you.
you want to try that bottle again?
Thank you.
There we go, Ted.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Ted, anytime you need me, Joseph, anytime you need me, anytime you need anything, do not hesitate. Shoot me an email, hit me up on IG. You know how to reach me. Let's stay in touch. Thank you so much. And when we make our trip to Chicago, I'm gonna have to look y'all up.
We need a bottle.
Yeah.
VIP all the way.
Reach out. Yeah.
VIP all the way.
We need a
We got
bottle.
you. We got you.
No chaser.
Let us know.
No
Yeah,
chaser.
definitely. I gotta let you know when I'm coming in town. Definitely. I would love to come to Chicago and check it out. I would love that. So let's keep in touch. Thank you again for making such an amazing brand. We wish you guys all the luck and all the success. We know that you're gonna continue to grow and just be amazing. I love it. I love your story and I love what you stand for. And I love the fact that young Black entrepreneurs can look at young brothers like yourself and say, we can do it too. So thank you so much for being a beacon of light for those of us that are wanting to get into entrepreneurship that look like us.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely,
Have a
guys.
great evening.
Y'all have a wonderful Friday and we'll talk
great
soon,
weekend.
okay?
All right,
Okay.
awesome.
To
Thank
all
you.
the viewers, thank you for joining us tonight. Y'all go have fun, be safe, be careful, and drink responsibly. And make sure you keep yourself covered up and safe out there. It's your girl Queenie. I'm gone. Bye, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.